In this video, I'm going to explain how I handle expansion. It could be done a bunch of different ways, but I think this is probably the easiest way for a beginner player, especially this is what happened to me when I came back. I bought all the DLCs and started playing the game again. And I noticed the first thing that bothered me or that I was really worried about was empire size. And I know this kind of changed throughout the game, but now the way it is as of right now, as your empire size hits 100, you start getting penalties on Unity and research. So I was like, oh man, I want to stay within this 100 empire size. Well, guess what? No matter what, it's going to be very hard to you can't, right? So the way this gets added up is by the amount of districts you have, the amount of systems, how many colonies, and how much population you have. And your population is always going to be growing. So even if you try to stick to one world, or maybe you try to stay really small and not a lot of systems, it's just not going to happen. So this empire size is a mechanic in the game. It's supposed to help, slow down so you can't really snowball. To combat that empire size penalty, what we need to do and plan for is we need to somehow create more research and create more unity. The easiest way, especially as a beginner player, is probably just to create research labs on your planets. Using consumer goods, you get more research points. You get 12 for each category. And the same thing for administrative offices. You can use this with more consumer goods. And again, that's going to generate more unity. And if you need more consumer goods, they can build civilian industries, which uses your minerals and creates the consumer goods. This is probably the best way or easiest way to combat empire size. There's definitely other methods and ways to do this, but this is probably the simplest. And then this can get you over that fear of, oh no, I'm growing too big empire size. You just have to know, plan for it. I need more research and more unity. Now that you're no longer scared of empire size, we want to expand, but we want to prioritize which systems we take. You want systems that have green planets, and the reason why is your species can colonize these right away, and you want to do this as quick as you can. You want these planets to get up and running so you can start having pops generating, you can start getting more tech and research, and you can actually maybe get some more naval capacity and more resources. So definitely it's growth. So getting planets is definitely the highest priority. Green planets in the beginning, for sure. And you want to get them, with taking the least amount of systems. So if you can take one system in between, great. And if that one system in between is pretty useful, that's even better. But focus definitely on green planets. So in this playthrough, I would definitely be trying to grab this planet here for sure, because it's right on the edge of an enemy. So I want to grab that before they come. And then, only 2 systems away, there's another green planet that I could take. There's also down here a green planet that maybe I want to rush to as well, because there is another civilization here that's trying to contact us. So I kind of have 2 areas where I want to expand to quickly. The next I would look at is yellow planets. They're not the worst, right? So the habitability is not going to be as good as a green planet, but you should be able to colonize this, and you'll maybe have some penalties. It's not going to grow as fast, and maybe it's something you just get that system and you wait for a while before you colonize it. So yellow systems are definitely another one that you want to look for, and red planets are nothing to ignore either. These are more of your long-term goals. You still might want to pick these up, or maybe you want to block other civilizations from grabbing these. Then later on, when you can terraform, or you can modify your species, or maybe you can have another species inside of your empire that that could habitate these planets, then 100% these are going to be worth it. Again, planets are great. Definitely want to pick them up. So definitely, in this playthrough, not only would I go for this green planet, like I said earlier, I would definitely scoop up this yellow planet, and I would start looking this direction as well. Maybe take this system to block all these red systems for myself. And then later on, maybe I don't take these systems right away, but I have these for the long term. After I prioritize planets, I look at the resources for systems and see, are they worth picking up? For example, this one's great. It's got 10 energy, 10 minerals, and 3 engineering research. This is well above normal for most systems, so I would definitely try to pick this up. Also, there's other systems that might have a mega structure, like this one has an orbital ring. Even if it didn't have a planet, this one would definitely be worth picking up. Systems may also have advanced resources, such as volatile motes. So this one I would definitely prioritize as well. So you have to look at each system as you're going and say, hey, is this only one system away and it's got decent resources? I should probably pick it up. So that would be the next thing I'd prioritize. Lastly, I would prioritize systems that could provide a defensive choke point, a system where we could build a single star base, load it up with defensive platforms, and have our defensive wars there. And in this playthrough, we're going to have war. Our neighbor is a militarist, so he's coming no matter what. So as a beginner player, I'd look at this and say, okay, we got to protect our borders. We already know we're going to take Soya because high priority. It's a green planet. We know we want to take this right away. So I'd look and say, okay, do we want this to be where our border ends? So Oscom wouldn't be too bad. There's still, this is a choke point. This is one way that they would have to come in, but it's only got 3 energy. And if we took Eurowaz or if we took Damia, that opens us up, right? We need 2 star bases now to protect. So most likely I would say, Oscom, probably not worth it for 3 energy. It's not that high. It's a whole nother system. We're already taking Soya, so we're most likely going to already have a star base here because there's a planet. We could build it up with defensive platforms. So I think overall, this is where I'd want my battles to be. To summarize, the TLDR is expand as much as possible, but have a plan to increase your research. So through research labs, your Unity potentially through administrative offices, to offset the empire size penalty that you gain as your empire grows. Again, take a look at defensive choke points that would make the most sense for you during defensive battles. Also look for resources that you may want out of a given system. So I'm hoping this helps you as a beginner player. If you have any questions, put it down in the comments below. If you like what you're seeing, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button. I stream on twitch.tv/SageTorn. Weekdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and as always,
for the Swarm.